Hey everybody, it's Allegra, the marketing medulla, the founder of The Win and the CEO. I am here with a new guest. I'm so excited. So first of all, I wasn't expecting to have this live interview 2 weeks ago. Last week, when I got in touch with this amazing individual, I was blown away by what he does. And not because I don't know and he taught me something new, is because I know about what he does. And he broke it down so eloquently, y'all, that I was just like, we have to bring him on a live and talk about what he does. Hey, Win community, y'all know what we do. Y'all go ahead and pull up. Make sure that you, uh, you know, put your questions, drop your questions, your comments. Make sure that you ask as many as possible. I have Mr. Derek Surratt. Is this Surratt with two T's? Did I do that wrong?
It's close. Surrat. Derek Surratt. No,
Surratt.
it's okay. Everybody say Surrat.
I
Surrat.
like Surratt. It's like got a little Surratt, but I think we need to say it right. So Surratt.
Surrat. Surrat. And majority of the time when you see a Surrat, 9 times out of 10, we have some blood. It's just because it's rare, It's not that many of us. Well, it's a lot of us, but it's not that many. I come from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. My grandfather had 21 kids.
Wait, we were gonna get into that.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, Derek. I am like, what? You're giving us so much meat right now. I want to hear a little bit about your background, what you do. Introduce yourself to the Win community. I'm going to start there with you. So first of all, just tell us who you are and what you do.
Good afternoon, everybody. Derek Surratt. What I do, I'm a federal contractor. Um, I play in the set aside space. That's my niche. That's where I go. That's what I like to do. That's how I stand out. Is in that disenfranchised area of federal contracting. And what that means is if you are a disadvantaged woman-owned small business or a woman-owned small business, period. If you're a woman, period, you are at a disadvantage. So you qualify for the SBA, WSB, woman-owned set aside. If you are a service disabled veteran, own small business, have a set aside of 30% or more. That's a disadvantage. If you are a disadvantaged person and qualify for the 8A certification, that's a disadvantage. So all those different set asides, and there's more out there. That's the space I play in, and I leverage those with prime vendors and other vendors that's not in the space that want to participate in it.
I'm so down with that. And this is one of the things I love about what you do is that you're working on a federal contracting side, which a lot of people have no clue what that area looks like. Like it's just so foreign, right? Because we're coming from 9 to 5 spaces and people are like, do this and do that, right? But then now we have to navigate murky waters and then with the government so that they can give us all this money they got. So you working with women like me, working with, minorities. Um, Tell me why you chose to do this. Like, why not just say, hey, I'm just gonna start working with the government and just making all this money, but why specifically the audience that you deal with?
That's a loaded question, and that question alone can have me here for hours. But I'm gonna see if I can bite that off one piece at a time. Uh, why? I kind of stumbled up on federal contracting, and I know there's videos out there, but it's a guy, TK. He said I came to this country with $20 in a blue tuxedo. He came over here from India, and he turned that $20 into a multi-million-dollar industry, and he really set himself up. So he gave me a few nuggets, and he gave me the game, and then next thing you know, I knew just enough to get started, and I was like, wow, what do I owe you? And the main thing he told me was to pay it forward. So this is my way of paying it forward. I feel like a lot of people gatekeep free information. I don't like that. So my goal is to pull the curtains back a little bit and show everybody what these free resources are and see where it goes, one person at a time.
Okay, I'm super blown. I'm confused now. So so listen, and y'all please comment and make sure I'm not crazy because you're saying that someone showed you how to get into government contracting. so that you can make money for yourself. And they showed you the loopholes, the ins and outs. And in order for you to walk in your purpose and feel good about what you were doing, you decided to do that for others freely.
You know, it wasn't necessarily the loopholes, the ins and out. He set me on a path. He said, Derek, go to SBA.gov. With the SBA.gov. And then I was overwhelmed and confused. So then I went back to him. And then he broke it down and he said, go here. So all of that happened over the course of 6 months. And within 6 months, I had a company set up, an LLC set up. I had my cage code, my DUNS number. I had my service disabled veteran owned small business set aside. So I was ready to go. I still didn't know enough. But if it wasn't for him taking that time out to sit down and just direct me to that well, I wouldn't have been able to drink that water. So I pay homage and I pay it forward.
That's pretty big, because I think, like, when you're talking about all the things you had to set up for your business, that you were guided to make sure that you were set up for success, it sounds like. What were some of the challenges? Like, did you come into this place of running the business, you're like, oh my God, like what the heck? Or was it a seamless flow because you had guidance? Like, tell me some of the challenges you went through.
Oh, you talking to a guy that just jumped straight off the porch. I have a criminal justice degree. Never used it. It's over there in the corner. Look good sitting over there in the corner. Uh, Never used it. I found out being a police officer, it's all cool and all, but they only make so much money, and I couldn't, really cap out at that amount of money. So TK introduced me to the contractor. He said, Derek, you're a veteran. Why aren't you contracting with the federal government? I said, well, when I was in the service, I seen contractors and they made all this certain amount of money an hour. I said, I'm familiar, but I'm not familiar. Please direct me. So I didn't have any guidance. So that's why I like to tell people, if I can do this, a guy from Little Old Pine Bluff, Arkansas, with no guidance. I got my bachelor's degree in criminal justice at 30 years old. So anybody can do this. All you have to do is apply yourself, read, and get into the environment, place yourself amongst individuals trying to be where you are or that's already there. And their overflow is going to roll onto you if you just stay at it.
Yes. And you gave me a little bit of the game too, because I'm going to tell you, that's why networking is so important. And we tell y'all this in the win, because if you are around the right people, they're going to give you we call it the game, right? They're going to tell you like, hey, if you just do A, B, and C and stick to your process, then you don't have to worry about, like what I hear a lot of times, people are like, well, how do I just get the money? Like, where's the grant money? It's like, you haven't put the work in. Like, and I think there's a little bit of an area, shady gray area there for some people who have never even seen what, that looks like. So when you went through SBA, you had guidance and you had some challenges, but then when did it break through for you?
Can you hear me? You broke up a little bit.
Uh-oh.
So you asked the question. You're back. So you said something about an area and describing the way it looks like.
Yeah, so we're talking about you and your challenges, but then going through those challenges, right? You had to see some new things, right? Like going through SBA and then going into the federal contracting area. Can you talk about that a little bit? Because I haven't gotten into what you do fully, but I just want to hear a little bit about that backstory.
Backstory, today's story is all fairly the same because I'm still contracting. I'm still going after projects, and I still have to go through those few things by having your financials, okay? Having somebody managing your QuickBooks. You got to keep your documentation. So what's the word for it? I wish I had Kim on here today, and she'll tell you your 90-day financial reports, your financial statements, your CPA documents, and all of that type of language that Kim speaks. She's not here today. You guys will meet her one day, but you got to have somebody in your corner that speaks to that language that you have to have for your accounting system that you need to provide to the federal government for loans, for funding, line of credits. You're going to have to provide the same information to banks to go out there and get line of credits. You're going to have to pretty much unpack all your numbers that's coming into your company and display them so you can get approved for some extra funding. I hope I unpacked that better.
Wait, that for some people, you just scare people away with that one because I know it's like unpack my financials. What? Like,
Well,
because you got to take your business seriously, and I think like this is where we lean into that area, right?
right, right. I mean, just like your personal, you got your social security number. Well, with your business, you have your EIN, and then you have your financials, what you're bringing in monthly, your profit loss statements, and things like that. To where banks want to see if they're going to get their money back. So they want to see if you're profitable. So they're taking the risk on you by loaning you the money. And I just applied for another loan. I'm going through that same process, and it really don't matter what level you are. If you're just getting started, midway in, or you're a multi-millionaire, billionaire, sometimes you're going to have to go out there and seek finances, and everybody's going to have to provide the same documentation. You might provide less because your company is new versus somebody that's been in the game for 10 years. So, but it's still the same process. So get somebody around you that's very good in accounting and bookkeeping that can help you keep all of that stuff together to where when somebody asks for it, you can just hit print and it's there.
That's powerful because that to me that says that you pride yourself in not doing everything alone. Like you actually want to build a team, which is important because a lot of times like this is where like and I'm just talking about my community, right? And how we are as women entrepreneurs, we have to stop doing everything ourselves, y'all. Like it's just so important to start like to not spread ourselves thin. And just to give you a little bit of backstory too, because this is your first time interviewing with the community. So I know it's like a lot of this information is like, what? Like, this is what we do. But listen, we've had these conversations, y'all, right? Like, don't spread yourself thin because you can hire people to do the work that you don't know how to do. Like, I mean, I've heard you talking about Arinthia. Shout out to Arinthia MetaConnects. She's been, huge support for a lot of people in the community. Shout out to Miss Ernest, who was the connector for you and I. And we all build teams in our businesses. We don't play that. Why would you do it alone? And so can you tell me a little bit more about your team? Because you seem like you have a dream team. Like I was like, I gotta meet Pam.
Pam's my road dog. That's my buddy. I was going to invite Pam to come on here today, but she's already got her hands in a lot of stuff right now. So I'm good at what I'm good at. And then you find other people that's good at what they're good at, and that's all they want to do. And then it just happened to continuously go that way. So Ms. Allegra and I was talking earlier about my team, and I was talking about how my company has two solid women, it's Kim and Pam, and they keep me in check. They keep me in line. Pam, she's been in the federal space for about 30 years. No, she's been in construction for 30, federal 20, and her niche is paperwork, and she have a different perspective from a lot of things because she started out by turning shovels in construction. So a lot of my money makers are construction. So as I'm going down these rabbit holes and going after these various different construction jobs, now I got Pam that's packaging the submittal registers. She's doing all the daily reports. She's putting everything in the RMS. She's boom, boom, boom. But she's also been in the field to where I'm a criminal justice major. So if I have an issue, I can lean heavily on Pam, and Pam going to fire it off with her knowledge. So she's an SME in her own right in what she do, and I'll let her explain that. But she does the paperwork, and she's the paperwork genie. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I tried it, and if you would have seen my first proposal, it was handwritten, and it was like something that Charlie Brown put together, So that's what Pam do. Kim, I tried working QuickBooks. I tried it for like a second or two, like really a second or two. And I said, Kim, now you got this. I got you. So Kim really helped me with all the insurance paperwork, making sure everybody get paid. Y'all subcontractors, y'all want to get paid on time. And guess what? Thanks to Kim, she make it happen, because if it was up to me, I would want to get y'all paid on time. But the way my mind work and the computer and QuickBooks work, it just don't add up, and the math don't map that way. So that's a Kim thing. She make it happen. So collectively together, Kim and Pam, they're right here telling me, hey, you need to get right, you need to do this right. So they keep me honest. So they are able to allow me to go out here and build, you know. Uh, and then as I scale, depending on what type of job it is, I would get a subject matter expert in that next code or in that area. So if it's a roofing job, okay, I need to have me a roofing SME as my superintendent. If it's a heavy civil, if it's a sewer job, concrete, then I need to put somebody on site that specializes in concrete, heavy civil, just going to be my eyes and ears on site to where now I know the job is being done. So you don't have to know everything. You just have to align yourself with the right person and manage the person that's doing it. Not everybody want to be a business owner. Not everybody's going to compete with you. It's some people that just want to come to work and work 40 hours a week and get paid very well. And those are the people you align yourself with. And if you are a just right, straight up person and you're doing what you're supposed to do, those people will love to come to work for you every day.
Oh, you dropped so many gems. Like we used to say that on Clubhouse, like you just dropped them gems because truthfully, like when you were talking about Pam and Kim, I actually can identify what kind of women they are, based on the fact that first of all, you selected them to be a part of your team. So we got to realize that we attract who we are. So they strong, we strong, right? And also I love that you pick people in the field that you're going to be doing the government contracting on. Like I would have, we're getting a lot of information. If y'all are listening, if you're taking notes through this conversation, you can literally start pinpointing like some clues. But let's talk a little bit more about those clues that and go deeper into what you do, because you've kind of like mastered it for yourself, where you have a system and then you also have an app. I want to talk about some of these things that you created based off of your concept of doing it for yourself and understanding what that looks like, and then saying, I can bring this to the world. Like, what does that look like for other people now? Like, if they go to your app or if they go to your website, like, how do they get support?
Okay, so like I said, we can do this all day. The federal forecasting app, okay, it's a tool. It's a ton of tools out there. It's a tool. So if you're familiar with business development in the federal government space, you're going to find that it's a lot of work and you're going to have to go to a ton of different websites. So if you're new to the game and you want to learn how to do federal contracts, I'm going to break it down. And you want to get in the right environment, you need to find out who is your OSBDUs, Office of Small Business Disadvantaged Utilizations. Okay. So the reason I'm hitting on those points because the federal forecasting app, it is an ecosystem that has OSBDUs, direct hyperlinks to where it's updated daily to where when those OSBDUs are putting new things on their websites, now you don't have to go to 40 or 50 different websites. It's already in the federal forecasting app. On those OSBDU web pages are their federal forecast, 4-year federal forecast. So you'll be able to download their federal forecast directly from their website. Well, this tool right here, you can go directly to their webpage and pull it down right here with the federal forecasting app. So it is a platform where you can learn, you can build relationships. I probably should ask some notes. Learn, build relationships. So you have sections in there where you have current opportunities. We have API keys coming directly from SIM.gov to where we pulling information into the federal forecasting app to where if you're a person like me, always on the go, always on the flight, going to industry days and things like that, you can sit down and play on your app and see what new opportunity came out in your area on your phone, via mobile device, tablet, Android. If you're on your computer, you can log in from the web. It has a feed section to where you can collaborate. There it is. There it is. That's it right there. You can collaborate. And hey, check this out. A new design is coming real soon. I have a meeting in 2 hours about the new design. It's already out. We're in the implementing process. So that's coming real soon. We're also incorporating more stuff. We partner with DMV and we're going to capture a lot of data for you guys. So that's coming real soon. But long story short, how did I get started on the federal forecasting app? I'm an 8A contractor, and I was talking to my BOS, my SBA person, a few years ago when she came to inspect my office, and I said, "Hey, is there an app for federal forecasting? I really like the forecast. She said, nope, somebody need to create one. I said, okay. It took me 3 years, 3 years before I could start that implementation process, but I remembered that. Thank you, Miss Susan Terrasas. You helped me with that idea.
Wait. So 3 years you held, did you hold it to yourself or did you actually tell people like I'm doing this? Like what did that look like? Now I'm digging deeper, y'all, because I want y'all to check out the app. Okay, so I'm gonna throw the link for the app. I'm gonna try to pull it for y'all and throw it here in the chat part so y'all can see it and check it out for yourself because I went on the app and I'm gonna subscribe so I can go ahead and get my federal contracts because I told my team just yesterday, I was like, we ain't at $1 million yet. Like, what's wrong with us? So we have to go bigger. We have to look at like what are we doing? Are we thinking too small? And I think when you start to look at these opportunities and you're saying that they didn't even have anything like this and you saw where there was a need because you probably was like, oh, I need that.
Yeah.
What did you do in that 3 years? Did you tell anyone? Like, what was that like?
That 3 years. I told people one day I'm going to create an app. One day I'm going to create an app. One day I'm going to create an app. I'm going to create an app, yada, yada, yada. And it took me 3 years to generate enough revenue. So I had to generate the money, get enough projects under my belt to start the process. You know, what I like about this federal contracting space is you can go to so many different rooms, so many different environments, and you might be thinking you're going for one thing and you leave completely doing something else because you done ran across somebody else with like mind and they put you on to something else. So if you understand the process, and a lot of people are not going to tell you the process, but the process is simple. Subcontracting limitations. Go to sba.gov, type in the search bar subcontracting limitations. It's going to break down the subcontracting limitations: 15 for general construction, 25% for specialty construction, and if you're providing a service, you have to self-perform 50%. Now, I just pretty much gave it to you in a nutshell, but once you mastermind, once you master that and learn how to scale those self-performance percentages, the next phase is letting everybody know you know how to do that. Prime vendors, subcontractors, the government, and then you package all of that different stuff with various different teaming arrangements. And that's how you're able to do so much in the federal space because you're able to hit the 15, you're able to hit the 25, and you're able to hit the 50 just by leveraging relationships, teaming arrangements, and all of this other different stuff. And I kind of broke it down right here in this book, Leveraging Your Disadvantage to Create Generational Wealth. It's on Amazon. It's only 19 books. And guess what? It's a quick read. It's 34 pages. And I put a teaming agreement at the back of it. So if you happen to download this book, let Miss Allegra know, send her an email, send a photo with you in that book, because then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to send you an electronic copy filled with all the hyperlinks of where I'm telling you to go, and you'll be able to just click on the PDF electronic copy, and it would also have that SBA approved teaming agreement.
That's value, like major. So listen, I'm loving this because I love when guests come through for the first time and do giveaways. Technically, this is not we're not giving away nothing crazy, but I want to honor that because listen, y'all, what Derek is saying is so true. Like, I'm so intrigued by it. And Derek knows this because as soon as I got on the phone, I was like, what? What did you do? How did you do it? Because, the truth is there's so much knowledge and information that I just don't have. You just don't have. And Derek, you've been in this space. Like, you've been there, you've done that, and you kind of have the little bit of the blood, sweat, and tears for us. So the fact that you took 3 years, and I highlighted this, y'all. I said it took 3 years to create the Federal Forecasting Act. The reason why I said that, not because 3 years is a long time. For some people, it is really a long time. But I highlighted it because things that are going to present value and change someone's life is going to take time. It does not happen overnight. And I asked Derek about the challenges because I believe that a lot of times when we're going through those challenges, we have to be so resilient that even if it takes 5 years, 10 years, that we know for sure that that's something that is needed in the market. And the one thing I'll pull out, is I love the fact that you asked the question, do they need this? Like,
And so the 3 years, it took 3 years. The vision was a 3 year process. It took 3 years before I actually started the process of developing the app. So I had to sit in my mind for 3 years, and I had to hold on to this vision for 3 years before I actually started that process. Now, we actually launched the federal forecasting app last November at the SBC same event, small business event in San Antonio. So this November, it would actually be a year. And since then, it's like night and day, but we have so much more we add into it, and it's changing daily. This time next, well, probably this time next month or this time in the next 3 months, you're going to see a completely different platform. Uh, New look, well, more capabilities, same price. Very good price point for new beginners.
listen, I know a good deal when I see one. I always tell people get them while they're there before you blow up, right? Because you just said within a year you can see like where the momentum has picked up. But it took some time to get there because that planning process, that thought provoking situation for you for 3 years, you're like, is this really what I want to do? And a lot of times, like I feel like, we have to do that. Like we have to take time to figure out, is this something we really want? But I love you sharing that because a lot of us we need that motivation. We need to know that it's okay that it's taking time, that it's okay that we're going through a process, right? But be very, very mindful that Derek was very clear. He had guidance, he had mentorship, he had support, and he is not doing it alone. Okay, so I just want to highlight those things.
No, I'm not doing it alone. And before I jump to the next subject, I got to tell everybody this because I'm excited to tell you about a partnership that we got with somebody already in your group. And it is Miss Orinthia S. Duncan with MetaConnects. So if you guys or ladies do not know anything about MetaConnects, it is the all-in-one CRM and then some tool. So I'm just going to say go out there and check it out. Meta, Konnects connects because we are partnering. We will be integrating with them within the federal forecasting app. So I got to send you there because I just think that platform is so awesome.
It is, and Arinthia built it herself.
She
Like,
built it herself.
okay, and this is part of, I think, the beautiful thing. Thank you for shouting that out because in our community, we not only have empowered women, but we have men who support us, y'all. Hence the situation here. And I love the fact that you brought her up because not only is Orinthia a testament to, just the greatness that women, are in our community, we also have Miss Ernice, which is how I met you. I'm gonna tell y'all, like, listen, 45 years in the government space, and we're talking to, Derek about his experience, and he's giving us an extra tool. But y'all have had Miss Ernice at your side for the last year, so I don't know. But I really want to keep. I know, right? Some people have taken advantage, and some people have not. I mean, I've seen the difference. Like I literally talked to a member yesterday morning. She was like, "Okay, I applied for my grant." I put it, not the grant, the bid. She said, I put the bid in. She said it wasn't easy, but Miss Ernie's walked me through it and she taught me things. And now she's confident. And that's what we need. We need to be around people who we can network with that's going to make us confident about what we need to do in our business. And so you're adding to this big pot we have. So that federal forecasting app, y'all, like, first of all, I gotta get it. And I wanted to bring Derek on so that you guys can get to know him like I'm getting to know him at the same time. I just met this man. And so if you understand the power of connection and you understand that when you know someone and they give you a referral like Miss Ernice did with Derek, and she was like, he's amazing. I talked to Derek, he's like, she's amazing. I'm like, well, of course. That's why we network. And I want to, kind of stop there on that side because, like you said, Derek, we could talk all day about this. But I
Well, I
would
can't
like you to.
stop. I got to give Miss Anise her cookies, man, because I tell people being in the right environment matters. If it wasn't for me sitting on that vision for 3 years, then just getting started, even though it wasn't where it should be with the federal forecasting app, that allowed me to go to other events and get booths. So I would have never met Miss Ernice. Because if I would have never launched the federal forecasting app and when it got in a booth in Atlanta, Miss Ernice would have never came by my booth I never would have met her. And now here we are, probably 8, 9, 10 months later, and her and I, we click, we send people, hey, if you like my book, that's sort of like an appetizer. I've only been doing this for almost 8 years. Miss Ernest got over 40 years in the game, and she had, so you're already connected with Miss Ernest. So I know that you know about this pre-book launch that she has going on, and that 40 years of experience. I can't wait to read it because I've learned so much from her in this space, and I've only known her for a few months. So I say, hey, take advantage of Miss Ernest while you have her here because sky's the limit. I believe a lot of people are going to come calling for her once that information get out there who she really is.
Yeah, yeah. She listen, we say it all the time, and that's what in this community we birth uh well, we don't birth winners, we have winners. Like they come. We're in alignment. And when Miss Ernest came to this community, y'all, like listen, and to Derek's point, when you are around winners, when you have people that are just all about winning, that's where you can't help but to succeed. I have met so many amazing individuals, and the win community has benefited so much, and so many members have benefited so much just by Miss Ernest being in our community. We've heard on our stages, Derek, we're her going to those actual events and talking about these amazing vendors that she's meeting, and talking about the fact that she's talking to thousands of people all the time. And we take it for granted. We take it for granted because the truth is that the individuals who are serious about their business, that want to make it to their goals, and who are really like, you know what, I don't play about me, those individuals are the ones that have gotten with Miss Ernest. So we know that they see, like, we know when you see value, you see value. We're not here to convince you. Like, that's what it is. But at
When
the
she
same
speak, I
time,
get quiet. I get
hmm,
quiet. When she speak, I get quiet. I just be like this. Yes, ma'am. Huh? Yeah.
it's like thank you for being here. And also, here's another thing, Derek. And I want to slow down here because we got to get off soon. I want to give everyone just a taste of you so we can come back again in the future and show them some more. I just think that it's beautiful how Miss Ernest is not only a wealth of knowledge and information, she's also a huge supporter. Like, she has supported so many people in our community, and so you have to look at the value of that. And the reason why we're bringing her up in her book, y'all, because you got to get the book is going to be launching on the 16th, the ebook, and that means that you guys get to, for a small window, get that book for $7.99. And if you are not downloading that book, if you're not getting on the wait list now to get that book, then you are going to miss out on your opportunity, because we're moving really fast. Like, Derek, I read, she did a work, Miss Ernest did a workshop for us. And I go back to that workshop all the time because I literally, it's just like so much information in that workshop for 1 hour. And now she has this book that you can couple it with and really, really get to know. And so I just wanted to honor that. I also want to honor Derek and your time here, just being here to just give us everything that you have, from the backstory to the now, right? And I'm sure there's probably a lot more we can dig into. But I also, want to give people time to get to know you while we're, getting to know each other as well. So let's start here. How can people, or what is the best way that you want people to reach out to you? Is it the forecasting app, or do you want them to go to the websites? Like, tell people, direct us. Where do we find you?
Hey, if you really want to get a hold to me, you can really get it. YouTube. You can always leave a comment there. You can go to the federalforecastingapp.com, log in, register. You can always catch up with me there, especially in the feed section. I'm on that thing, market researching all day, every day. So you can catch up with me there. Or you can send me an email at Derrick, Derrick, at federalforecastingapp.com. You can check out the LinkedIn page, Federal Forecasting App, LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn, Derek Surratt. I'm that guy that you can talk to. I'm just a normal guy, I'm just a normal guy that just kind of stumbled up on federal contracting.
I love it. And any words of wisdom that you would like to leave our listeners today, something they can walk away with?
Ooh, I heard somebody say this, if you want to become, you have to be. So be the person you want to become, and you just have to do that daily, every second. You know, I don't like. I know a lot of us. I tell my brothers all the time. Coming from the background we came from, we can get stuck in the past from past experiences. But I like to say, use your past as an example to where you want to be. We can spend our whole life running from what we was taught our first 18 years of our lives. But a lot of times, what we was taught our first 18 years of our lives, majority of the time is false until you step out there into the real world and you get in an environment and you see things. Don't be afraid to try something different because it's different from what you was taught growing up.
That was some heavy words to walk away with because I felt every single bit of it. Thank you so much for saying that.
Thank you
Thank y'all
for
for
having me.
listening. Absolutely. And we will have you again. Y'all, please put hearts up in the comments if y'all want Derek back again, because I mean, honestly, this is important information that we all need to know. So, what I want y'all to do, because we will be dropping, the links for Derek's forecasting app, whatever contact information he has for y'all, like he just announced, and also we'll be dropping Mrs. Ernie's information as well because of her. We met. We give credit where it's due, and make sure that you guys tune in again when we go live soon. This is hosted on LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube, but Derek has a YouTube channel, and I want everybody to go over there first. And I want y'all to go shout him out over there and say, hey, I saw you in the Wing community. Hey, Derek, what's up? I heard about the forecasting app. And I want y'all to download it. And I want you to tell me how you like it. Because to be real, if there's nothing like it out there in the market and you guys don't know how to apply for federal contracts, you not only have a go-to resource with that addictive, thing we have in our hands to just download the app, but on the back end, we also have Derek if we need help and support. So thank you so much for what you do, Derek. We're going
Thank
to get
you.
out of
Thanks
here,
for having me.
y'all.
Nice to meet you all.
Absolutely. Y'all have an amazing day, and we will see y'all back here on the next live. Bye.